Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Endzone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Check this out, man. I'm just coming back into this game after a while away from it. You know, we have a lot of other things going on here on the channel, and like, look at this, man. This is just so cool. Just this environment. Just take this in. All right, people walking around. You got barrels on fire with like little bulletin board stuff happening here. We got just animals hanging out in here. It's raining. There's like a lot of stuff going on in here. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. All right, so what are we working on today? Well, I'm kind of hoping they deliver wood to the research center so that we can. That was water cleansing. This is making water safe. That's all that was. I'm hoping they get this stuff delivered. We need 4 more wood here. And 4 more electronics, and then we get wind turbines. And I kind of want to get, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to store the power, like start the power build. And part of me thinks we should just spread it out like throughout the base. You know, like we'll have maybe a wind turbine over here and maybe have one over here, you know, kind of localize it so that we don't need power poles necessarily everywhere. But I mean, eventually everything's going to connect. So maybe I think the first one we'll do is possibly like right here next to the cemetery, potentially, and then we can run the power poles to at least here. That way we can speed up the research on everything else, right? We just get this hooked up to power first, and then we can put another wind turbine maybe over here and start powering all these buildings. And I don't exactly know how big the footprint is on the wind turbine, so potentially it'll just kind of fit wherever. I also don't know if trees are going to impact how much, well, I don't know if trees are going to get in the way of how much we get for wind. So the other thing I'm thinking is maybe starting up right here, we can cut down all these trees. Actually, why don't I start that right now? We're going to say cut down only. I want you just kind of cutting down over here. Just cut down this, because we may do our power over here. And I have one big power grid that just feeds power into all of this. So we set up all the poles that we need, and then all the power just feeds into this. We'll give that a try, see if that helps at all. But going cut down only should, I think anyway, it should speed up our wood production, because the same people who are cutting it down don't have to go and replant it. All right, we do have a drought here right now. That's going to eat into our water supply, but our rainwater collectors are super full. Hang on. Vermin have infested some of our warehouses and depots. We sadly had to throw away a great deal of our stockpile of food reserves. What? We have 11,000? You had to throw away over 1,000 food? Really? We'll take better care in the future that something like this doesn't happen again. Really went south, Chief. Yeah, That sucks. Let's take a look at the bulletin board. We got some missions. Research in the area of logistics. Our researchers have an idea to try their luck with new technology. Their idea is to research a decree that will get your settlers to clear away all the graves in our cemeteries. They want your permission to be able to commence these studies. I'm not looking for that. A test for the economy. Knowledge is power. Let's try this. A special reward. Hey, Chief, one of our settlers came up with an idea. He wants to use the filter systems in our water tower for a few experiments to learn more about the correlation between radiation and our water supplies. We have to shut down our water tower's filtration system to enable the experiments to be carried out. But as soon as we're finished, we ought to achieve the system or activate the system again right away. Okay, let's do it. So what it is? So we just have to store a little bit more water, I guess. These challenges are a little dry. It seems like they just sort of give you a milestone that's very close to what you're already having. And, I mean, I guess. So we'll see. So I need to store up to this much water to start the experiment, which also doesn't make any sense to me, because, like, 12,000 water needs to be stored. You can't run the experiment with less than this? I don't know. And then coal stored 27 out of 36. We can get that pretty easily, but obviously we're not going to get any more water stored during a drought, so we'll have to wait on that. It's possible that our crops are dying here because I didn't turn on the irrigator. But, you know, now that we've got wind, now that we've got our wind turbines available to us, now the power poles are available too. Here we go. So this takes 6 electronics to build one. Continuous power generator, but only able to supply a small amount of buildings. Okay. Well, I don't know what you mean by that because we're going to use power poles. So the efficiency is 100% here. If I go in here, it still looks like it. Oh, I saw it dip. At least I thought I did. No? See, I don't know where this stops being efficient. It looks like efficient is kind of everywhere. What it looks like. I don't see any place where this just like the mountain. So in this case, I think we put it over here. I'm gonna put this like, yeah, I'm gonna put this right. Right on the water edge. Like that. And I think we'll maybe do 2 of them. They're expensive to build, but if we can get things powered. Ah, the efficiency changes when you're near other ones. That's different. That's a bit weird, but all right. I mean, it's wind. Does solar do the same thing? Because that would actually be dumb. Let's hope solar doesn't do the same thing. This at least makes some sort of sense, but like, which direction is the wind going, you know? Right about there. We'll put 2 down. We'll get too cute anyway, but I'm going to pause that one. So the wind turbine is able to generate 300 as a scale of their power production. And like certain buildings will take, like the medical center, for example. How much power does this need if it's hooked up? It consumes 150. See, so it really only consumes, like, we're going to need 2 of these at least to, you know, power our medical center and then power some of these other heavy producing buildings. I want the water tower hooked up to it because this will make that a lot more efficient, right? And this consumes 200. So already 1 turbine is not even enough to power the water tower and the medical center. So I need at least 2 for this side. And this is why I'm saying I think if we do localized power instead of having one big area like a farm for it, it'll probably be better because you can't have these things very close together anyway. I am curious to see, though, whether or not we are going to be able to put like solar in here and have it, you know, it's maybe laying down like right here, because the solar is pretty cool. It's this like, giant circular sort of, well, it's not really a grid, but yeah, kind of a grid. It's this big circular thing, and it generates a lot of power. 5,000 power. But it only, you know, it's only hooked up during the day, or it's only generating during the day, right? So wind turbines don't seem very efficient at all. But they generate power constantly, and that's why I want these hooked up to these 2 buildings, at least, to keep medical up and to keep the water tower up at all times. And then I also, with the power overflow, we're going to have 600 power capacity, and this right here is 350. So we get 250 power overflow. And with that, I'm kind of hoping maybe these buildings, this is 150, this is another 150, so that's 300. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more than this. So we're going to need solar. I think that's what we work on next. And to be honest, I probably should have worked on that first. Now that I'm looking at the actual amount of power this thing can generate. But this thing costs 60 electronics to make. And it takes 3 knowledge to research it. So actually, I don't think we should have done that first. I think getting the water and the medical hooked up to power is pretty good. Now, why medical? Why am I so apt to get medical up? Right? Well, we don't need it up all the time as far as being hooked to power. But if we get a plague or a massive outbreak or something like that and people are just rushing to the hospital, I want to be able to provide instantaneous power to this building if I need to. So I want this to be hooked up. But what I'll likely do is turn off the power to it until we need it, but just make sure it's hooked up. And so what we'll end up doing actually is with the 150 power consumption that this is using, we'll redirect it to like tools or something like that so that we can keep that supply up all the time. We'll keep that sort of connected to our production buildings until we get some sort of an outbreak. And then I can shut the power off to all of these other things and focus it there, basically. And then I think I want another one over here on the research center. This consumes 250 power. which means that if we were to build our own wind turbine right next to this, like I think it needs its own wind turbine, right? So if I was to do that, and I think we'll just put it right here. Maybe we'll flip this around. I kind of don't want it hooked up to that. Yeah, I want you to be exclusive to this. So why don't we just set you? I think we'll do it right here. Right on the corner there. Because that will hook this up, 300 power generation, directly to this, and then this will always be powered. And then we should get faster research. We should get faster knowledge generation by being hooked up to the power grid. At least that's what I'm hoping. We're getting a few sick people. Looks like quite a few people are getting sick. We should increase our workforce a little bit in the medical facility just in case. How are we doing here? We got 3 settlers. Only 1 builder. Maybe up that into another one. Charcoal's at 27. So we maybe should look in getting another charcoal burner right now. But with the wood being so low, you know what? We're good on masks. Let's go down to 1 tailor, up the forestry, and up the charcoal burning. And then we've got 8 electronics. So this should get built, right? Build next. Put the electronics into this. Let's get this up and running. The illness is getting out of control. All right, fine. We'll take care of it. We need to produce medicine, which we're currently doing. I upped the production limits on medicine. Oh, look at how much scrap we have. Ooh, nice job, scrap collectors. Let's bring you guys down. Nicely done, scrap collectors. Bring this down to 2 now, and I think I want 1 more on research, and let's get another herbalist. And I just leave the settlers, I guess. We don't really need anything else. We're kind of, I mean, on supply anyway, we're pretty good. We're doing all right. So I guess we just go with charcoal burning. Stick one extra researcher, I suppose. And then maybe we lower how many water carriers we have down to, so we have 4 settlers. So the wind turbine's operational. Here we go. And the wind turbine is currently providing power to the fishing hut, which is not what I want. So I can turn this off so that it no longer has power. And same thing with this building. If it got power, the well, this building, if it was powered, I could do that too. These cisterns turn into water towers. I know I didn't remember that before, but they do. So you can upgrade these into water towers. And I think what I want to do is actually take this power pole, put it right here, and you can place the power poles. Yeah, we got the medical rewards. You can place these power poles right on paths, so we can just follow the roads with them. It's kind of cool. That will provide this, and we'll be able to filter water a lot more effectively that way, which is going to mean that we're going to need charcoal and stuff being produced more. So I might get another wind turbine over here. What do you guys take for power? Okay, you're 100. Charcoal kiln is another 100. And the gatherer's hut is another 100. So if we put a wind turbine right here, you can power these 3 buildings indefinitely. All the time. 100% of the time. Here we go. Right here. Now I realize I'll need power poles for this, but I kind of want it out of the way so that I can maybe build another building here if I decide to. So I'm going to put another wind turbine there, and that turbine can power all of this. Looking over here, I think this should be the next thing we build. That will speed up our research. We currently have 1 point, and we're about to get a 2nd point, which is fantastic. There's 2 points. And I can't decide. I think what I'm going to do here, I want the solar collector, but just because, man, I also really want this. 3 knowledge for the refinery. I think the sooner we get a refinery going, the better, man. Because I can take these little things here and this one, and we can kind of get rid of them. Pop a refinery over here, or, you know, actually, because the scrap is coming in here, I think we pop the refinery right here. It does lower the attractiveness of the area, and maybe I could deal with it maybe like right here instead. This is actually a great place for it, because it's right next to the storage too, which is full. This temporary storeroom. We might want another one actually. Let's get a, yeah, temporary storeroom. We'll drop another one right here. And then the dirt roads can just kind of all the way to the back. Yeah, all the way behind these houses. I think I'll do like this. And then the water, no, the houses, right? We can have sturdy houses built along this side here. This, I don't know if the storeroom is less attractive. Let me see really quick. Is it? No. It doesn't lower attractiveness. So, I think we will. We'll get the sturdy housing put in over here. Of course, this increases the amount of children we'll have, right? It increases, like, citizens, right? So we're going to have more people being born by doing this. Oh, you know what? I kind of like this. There's a space here. There's like a little gap here. What if we have like a back alley kind of thing? Huh? Kind of like that. Yeah, that's cool. We had a question. I know I answered it for you, but in case anyone else is wondering, I don't think there's any limitation to the number of these dragons you can have. You know, these fiery scrap dragons. I know they're called totems, but you can call them whatever you want. This is a scrap dragon. And like, I don't think there's a limit to the number you can have in their base. So I kind of feel like we get another one. Kind of right here. I think so. And that's gonna make this area more attractive. It's already a -6 right here for the location. This shelter's a 34. This is a -6. What I don't understand, there's capacity here. 9 out of 25. And these 11 people could be living here since it's way more attractive to do so. But they're not. So are they being programmed to just even themselves out amongst the shelters? Regardless, this scrap dragon's going to help with that a little bit. Should kick that into positive territory at least. And if we ever hook it up to power, that will help too. How are we doing on like decontaminating things? Our town center. We need to get radio transmissions. Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, of course. I want this hooked up, please. Well, I told you to build that next, didn't I? We're working on electronics. I want all my scrap people. Instead of metal, I want you to make electronics. All scrap should be directed to electronics right now so that I can get this going faster. I want research going so fast. There we go. It's powered. Yeah, baby. All right. Our production energy surplus is 50 on the power grid. What do you take? You don't get hooked up to power. You're probably very expensive. You're only 100. Interesting. Herbalist hut? Only 100. With 50 overflow, though, that doesn't leave a whole lot as far as like powering 2 buildings. So I do want this dedicated. So this is now hooked up to power, and as a result of this, they should be getting things faster. We should be working faster. I don't see that reflected in any interface though. Normally I can see the actual impacts of this. Like if I went to the water tower, let's hook that up actually. Where's this? Right here. Build this next, please. If I went here, I should see that if it's hooked up to power, we would get additional production. Where is that located? I know I've seen this somewhere and I just don't remember where it is. I don't know. It doesn't show me this. I'm blind as a bat. I'm sure somebody will comment and tell me where I can see this. I thought it was 150% production during the day and 100% production at night. But now I'm thinking it's possible that I'm confusing this game with Surviving the Aftermath. Oh God, playing 2 survival builder games at a time is maybe not a good thing to do. How are we doing on scrap? You guys cleared this whole place out. I'm so proud of you. Look at this. Actually kind of nuts. Let's change your field of work. We'll get you maybe like over into here now. So eventually they're going to have to travel further and further for scrap. But I positioned it over here because there's a lot in this vicinity, and I could maybe get the best usage of this position. You know, instead of putting it way over here, where they would technically be closer to the scrap and collect it faster, but getting that scrap to our production houses over here, our recyclers over here, would have been a problem. And, you know, in hindsight, I sort of wish... I mean, I have another scrap collector here, actually, so let me take a look at this. Yeah, we should have you going like this. Or actually, you know what? Maybe we clear this because we could build here. Because there's another water hole here, and I may decide to go get some more fish. Potentially. Okay, so I've been letting it sit here just for a little bit. Play on a little bit. And our birth rate's going up, thankfully. Everyone's getting a little bit happier. That's nice. I'd like to see higher movement speed. Newborn settlers will live distinctly longer. I love that. We have 3 knowledge points now, though. See? So I think we go for refinery here. As much as I'd like to get everything powered, though, like 5,000 power is a lot, but we'd only have it during the day. I can always give the refinery its own supply too. I'm gonna go with refinery. This thing is so good, and yeah. So we're gonna be able to produce that very fast. We can see what the production is. I was looking at this, right? We can see what it's producing with power with 1200. So if I was to remove power, it goes down to 600. So power is doubling its production, actually. Power is very good. So we want to do that. And you can also see how the wells can also be powered, right? And the power from the well is only 100 consumption. So right now I have 100 overflow. And so I've decided to let the fisher hut get this. And when I click the fishing hut, now it shows me efficiency here. So daytime working hours is 150%. Nighttime working hours is 100%. If it wasn't powered, it would be dropped like this. So I was right about those figures, but it doesn't really show that to me with the water tower. There doesn't seem to be an efficiency display for this. But you can do the math, right? You can say, oh, it does 1200, now it does 600, now it does 1200. So this is that's easy to do. I think what I'd like to do for the sake of our water, though, is I think I want to try to get that well powered a little bit too, and I've gone ahead and getting them started on this wind turbine here. But I don't know if these turbines are going to actually be able to get connected to each other. So I think I'm going to need a pole. So I'm just going to put a pole between these. I think they're a little bit too far apart. Yeah, see, they can't even connect to that. So I'm going to have to connect these together if I want them to work. So I'm going to go like that. And then once this is operational, it'll connect here and it will provide an additional 300 power to the grid. And then probably what I'll need to do is I'll need to give the refinery its own wind turbine as well. Yeah, the research is going a lot faster now. And again, it doesn't show you what it is. As far as its pacing goes, it doesn't show you exactly the impacts that having power is doing. I kind of wish it would. But it does clearly mark that it's on. So, and there are 6 educated researchers, which is pretty nice. There's 4 researchers, right? But 2 of them are educated, so they count as an additional researcher, basically. 45 coal. We can bring down on the charcoal burning. We don't have any wood going on, so we need to get more forestries. And then I think we're okay on food for a while, so maybe we'll take a couple people off of this. We're about to have a drought pretty soon. I might want to look at irrigation. But let's just make sure we have settlers to carry things. I don't want to do the thing I did in Surviving the Aftermath where you don't have any carriers. That is a legit thing. Oh, look at them walking around in their suits. This is a suit, right? Yeah, there it is, Luca in his suit. Oh, that looks badass. Oh man, that's cool. All right. What's this? Okay, we need to store more water and deactivate. So we have the coal in storage. We just need more water now. And we need that during the rainy season. I can speak. So I'm going to temporarily pull all scrap collection. And I think we'll go down to... We have 45 tools. I think we'll go down to 1 technician and put everybody else in the water carrying for now. So we can get maximum value and hopefully get this box ticked before the next drought, which is basically 1 season. Then we can deactivate the coal filters for the time being, and we get 1 knowledge for this. So I really want to do this. It will cost us 9 coal. It costs us 470 water, which isn't that attractive of a proposition when you're in a drought. But we have 2 rainy seasons immediately after the drought. And of course, it gives us a knowledge, which is just like, hey, thanks for the research, you know? And it looks to me... Oh, right. Refineries being researched, but we don't need... Wait, do we not need any supplies for this? I'm confused. Normally, when you research something, you have to give it supplies. This just takes... It says resource costs. 444 scrap, 246 wood, and 36 metal. But I don't see that here. I guess I see it here. But I'm not seeing in this interface again, right? It's weird. Like, it's almost like when you hook things to power, the UI has changed. Or maybe it just doesn't show the same thing for everything you research. I don't know. Right here it says needs metal or wood. Well, yeah, I'm going to need another forester, I think. This guy is a herbalist, which, like, we got plenty of that. We're basically capped out on all that stuff, so let's pull... Let's say we only need 1 herbalist for now, and I think I need to get some wood going over here, too. I'm building a lot of stuff. That's kind of been a theme with me. I tend to build a lot of things at a time, and then I'm complaining that everything's building so slowly because they're spread out, right? This well isn't even working or being worked. Let's hook that to the power grid and we'll take the fishing hut offline. There we go. Yeah, so this is hooked up to power now. Oh, this is. Yeah. This is hooked up to power now. And it's working even better than before. And there's no surplus on the grid now. Because you are taking 100 power. And you take 200 power. And those are the only 2 things connected. Good. All right, so this is done now. And that's fantastic. But now we need this done. And we need metal for that. Now, again, I've had my guys doing electronics for a while because I know I'm going to need a lot of electronics when I go to build my solar panels. So I'm kind of been trying to bank on those. But now I think because it's slowing down production, I'm going to go ahead and at least switch you 2 to metal and plastic. And actually, I think just metal for now because that's something we need a lot of. And then you are going to stay on electronics for a little bit. All right. So this is our rainy season. And it's kind of our last chance to, like, get water collected, right? We should be processing it very fast because of this. So now it's just a matter of, can I move the water out of the rain collectors fast enough to open up, you know, for the rain season to collect more? Because that I got a bit of a problem there. And I need all the rain carriers I can get, actually. Why don't we temporarily, I'm going to cease tool production. And I'm going to go down to 1 charcoal burner. Everybody else goes water. Let's remove one of the builders, go water. And actually, we have enough food. I'm gonna remove the fisher too. So let's make sure that the carriers, we got to get a lot of water carrying to boost that number up. Let's see if we can tick that box. And if we can get that box ticked before this is a free knowledge. So I really don't want to mess this up. I think I'm doing it. I think this is desperate times because this is going to expire in, well, it's 3.5 seasons. It's got a while. It's got a little bit, but I'm going to pull people off of it. I want to max out water carrying right now. Go. Right before the drought. Everyone does water right now. And the well is hooked up to power. It should be more effective. And if I can get the other well hooked up too, that'd be cool. And, you know, if we had enough water carriers, we might even be able to process more water at a time. Yeah, see, it's red, the red bar. Now we're running out of time. Look at everybody going down to the jetty. We got 8 people working here. 8 people working in that water tower. Bring water in. And, like, are you guys... Do they take it out of this? I figured they would take it out of these. But I guess they're just going straight from the lake now, which is fine with me. Because, like, whatever. We're about to have a drought. So, once we have a drought, then you can pull it from these, right? That's the idea, I think? So now we have everybody on water carrying, but they should be pulling them from these now. These rainwater catchers. Yep, there we go. There we go. Now they're pulling them from this during a drought. Perfect. So we should still see that water getting processed. Filling up this tank. And I think this post is done. So we have overflow on our power grid. Let's go ahead and pause this really quick. Overflow on the power grid means we could potentially start getting some other stuff powered, like potentially. You know what? Let's have it sit here. This post. Put the post right there. And then another post will go here to connect those two together. And that will connect this well to the power grid. We can start getting this well powered too. And these posts take electronics as well. So I've been trying to, like, you know, anticipate the fact that I'm going to need electronics. Did we pull researchers? I didn't pull any researchers. Yeah, I think we keep the researcher for now because the solar panels take three knowledge as well. But if we can get this, then that's just like free knowledge is awesome. Free knowledge is really cool. The rainwater catchers are keeping our number up above 10. But I mean, obviously, we're gonna want to catch more rain. As soon as it rains, this number's gonna go way up. Because I think this number, I'm pretty sure this number includes the water that's inside the catchers. Yeah, there's 1,000 water here, 800 water here. It definitely does. So when it starts raining, this number is going to skyrocket. But the question is it going to go up fast enough? I don't know. I got everybody right now on water catching, or at least I should. I'm water carrying. 18 water carriers. Yeah, 18 water carriers right now. Got to go as fast as we can. Let's watch the number climb. Here we go. 10-6. 10-5. 10-6. Come on. Come on now. Don't do that. Get up there. This path is too long. I wish they didn't have to walk all the way around this every time. I should have left a little path. Note to self, next water arrangement, leave a path completely around this. And then face the door towards the water source. All right, there we go. Now we need to deactivate the coal filters. So we're going to deactivate the coal filter. And that's it. Experiments displayed very promising results. We can definitely put this accumulated knowledge to good use. We're going to get one reward, one knowledge reward, and we lose 470 water, which is like a kind of a whatever moment. So let's turn this back on now, and let's rebalance our collection efforts. We'll go down to, let's say, 9 carriers, 9 water carriers. Put 2 people on. I don't even need scrap at the moment. One person on scrap, and let's do 1 tailor, 3 foresters, 2 coal burners, everyone on refining, 1 technician, and that's kind of it. I don't have any additional settlers. I've been dropping in population pretty fast, but you'll notice that this is 39 adults now, so we had a lot of people die, right? And that's because for a little while, right, we forbid childbirth. So our whole population just started getting older with no new people being born. But look at this. Half of our colony right now are children. And that means that we're about to fix that problem very, very fast. because like, look at it, boom, it's just gonna start happening. Children are gonna drop down, more adults are gonna join the workforce, and we're gonna start getting more people back into the base, and that's gonna feel really good. Now, I still don't know what's going on with this research or why it's not triggering. I don't know what's going on. It says resources are being collected, but I still don't know what the progress is on that because it doesn't show me. I wish it would show me. And in case you're wondering, no, scroll wheel, I can't scroll up and down. There's no additional windows there. So I'm just going to look at the source, I guess, the resource here, and hope that it's being collected, I guess. Some researches just don't work, I guess. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you haven't already. And also a quick PSA for those who are following the series. My son is now back being homeschooled again, back being virtual schooled again. And unfortunately, that means that video releases are going to slow down channel-wide. So there's a pretty good chance that Endzone won't post every single day. But if you're enjoying this series, I hope you stick with me. There's lots more to come. I'm definitely playing it through. This is a lot of fun. Take care. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.